All right, bitches, let's answer your boy questions. I just got all your questions on Instagram. I haven't read any of these. I'm just gonna go off the top, like you're my friend that just gave me this problem, and I'm gonna give you my advice. Hopefully it's good. Why don't men approach me? I think I'm attractive. What's the problem? You know what? When I was younger, I had this same issue. I was like, I honestly feel like I'm one of the cuter people in the room or in my friend group, but everyone approaches my friend whose makeup is a mess and outfits are weird, her personality's off, she's too drunk, whatever. But it's because she was more approachable. Now, as I've gotten older, I've developed more of a confidence that allows me to feel really comfortable in any room and feel like myself. And somehow it has given me a more welcoming, inviting energy. And now when I'm with other girls, I'm always the one that gets approached. And it's not because I'm the prettiest one in the group or even the room. It's because I think, well, people tell me this, I give off a really inviting, welcoming energy. Because here's the thing, let me let you in on a little secret about men. When a guy goes out to a bar, he's not looking for who he wants to give a drink to. He's looking for who wants a drink, right? Who wants it. Guys aren't looking for who they want to approach. They're looking for who wants to be approached. Take away from that, be approachable. Have the confidence to be vulnerable enough to make eye contact with people, to smile and let them in. And you'll realize literally everyone will come up to you. Like if you actually want people to approach you, you have to be approachable. He hit twice and is ghosting me. What do I do? You ghost him back. The best way and the only way to deal with a ghoster is to ghost back. If a guy doesn't want you and isn't literally blowing up your phone and your life and trying to be with you in every single way possible, he's not for you. The best revenge is to move on with your life and have fun and not trip over people that don't want you. It feels so freaking amazing to find somebody who actually wants you and you want them. Don't settle for less. Oh, here's one. How do you tell someone they're boring in bed? Just want to be thrown around, TBH. I get you, girl. This is kind of a you either have it or you don't situation. I do think that people can respond to constructive criticism and improve, but can they transform from boring in bed to an absolute dom master overnight just by being told they're boring? No. I think your best bet is to find somebody who naturally has that quality that you want. But I get where you're coming from because I used to crave for someone to dominate me, but I was never with men that could do it well. And now that I've met men that can dominate well, I realize that it's just a personality type, and you gotta find that personality type. You cannot mold a person into the dom you want, because good doms, they naturally have it. So my answer to you, you can tell someone they're boring in bed if you want to maybe see incremental change, but mostly if you want to hurt their feelings. I would just say if you want to be thrown around, go find somebody who can throw you around. How do I get a man to stop playing games and drop his ego and have a genuine connection? You go find another guy that doesn't have an ego. I would recommend European men. European men tend to not have egos, which is great. You can't force a genuine connection. You gotta find someone who's already capable of it, or wait 10 years, and when that guy's in his 30s, he's probably gonna be more likely to be able to make a genuine connection. Okay, but less boring advice, you have to drop your ego. You gotta lead by example. You have to make a space where someone feels so comfortable to be themselves and not have an ego. Maybe they get inspired to be that way because you're already that way. I find that with a lot of people, when they just feel understood and valued and listened to, they drop the mask really fast and they feel really comfortable around you, and they reveal parts of themselves that maybe they have never revealed to anybody else. So create an environment where he feels loved and accepted, and see if he opens up like a little flower. Now, if he doesn't, go find someone else that's already capable of that. You don't need to be an emotional mother. Boyfriend never prioritizes our long distance relationship. That's a hard one. And I know how this feels because my college boyfriend, absolute sweetheart when we were together, but every summer we'd have to spend 3 months apart because he would go back home to Vienna and I would be with my family in the US. And it was so hard for me because he would never text me. Like all summer, it would be so hard to be in contact with him and I would just feel so forgotten. Here's the thing about all of this stuff. You can do little things to intrigue someone or make someone feel safe, but you can't make someone love you and you can't make someone prioritize you. And if they're not prioritizing you, the rough, true answer is that you need to go find somebody who will prioritize you. I'm obsessed with someone who's married. One of my friends has this issue where she only finds guys who are unavailable or in relationships that she likes. And at first I was like, that's life. Like you find people, they might not be in the right situation to date you, but you can't help the fact that you like them, you're attracted to them, you love their energy. Maybe you're soulmates and they just happen to be in a relationship. That being said, since having this friend, I have seen what she's gone through liking all these men that are in relationships. And I started wondering why I have never been in that situation. Because I've cheated when I've been in a relationship and liked other people that were single, but I've never had an affair or even pursued anything or fallen in love with someone who's married or in a relationship. Why? There would be a point of me liking them where I realized they still want to stay with their wife. They still want to stay with their girlfriend. And you realize you deserve more than that and you move on. Maybe you wait and you put them on the back burner till they get out of a relationship, right? But lamenting over them, obsessing over them, torturing yourself while they're in a relationship is really because that's what you think you deserve. I never thought that it was that way until seeing my friend do this and realizing when other people would leave the situation, she's staying. And she's literally wasting her 20s lamenting over these men she can't have, then going out and finding people who actually want her so bad they'll literally do anything for her. Because you're gonna go out next week or in 2 weeks and you're gonna find another guy that isn't married, or even if he is married, he's ready to leave his wife for you, okay? At least that. How do I get over being friend-zoned by a guy? I'm so embarrassed about it. First of all, I think embarrassment is just an unnecessary emotion. Why are you embarrassed? Because you feel undesirable? Because you feel unattractive? You feel unwanted? You feel like him not wanting the moon and the stars with you is a knock down the totem pole? There is nobody in the world who every single person wants to be with. That's literally an impossible goal and an impossible standard to hold yourself to. And when you hold yourself to impossible standards, you end up just torturing yourself and making your life miserable. Now, instead of wasting your time lamenting over someone that's meant to be a friend, that doesn't want more with you, go out there and find the person that you're actually supposed to have more with. How do you become more confident towards men? Every woman's life changes when she realizes that men are terrified of women and that men do everything and make every decision because they think it will make women like them more. For instance, those guys that wear like the super ugly branded like big gold belts and like branded everything or drive really fancy cars, they're not doing that because they think it will get them less pussy. And then on the other side of things, some guys wear no brands, have great fashion sense, and dress really cool because they know it will get them more pussy. Once you realize this, that men are literally petrified of women, it puts you in a kind of benevolent, godlike mind state where you're just like, oh, you little guy, like you're so scared of me, but I love you. Like, why are you so scared? You know, like you don't need to be scared. You're so cute. Because I know that men do everything to just be liked and accepted by women, I look at them with so much more compassion and love and understanding. Like, I love men. I adore men. I think men are so sweet. And I think that comes from knowing that I am just naturally in the power position. And when you're in a position of power and you don't feel like that power is threatened, there's no need to be insecure anymore. You can just be confident. And on top of that, you can be kind and understanding and compassionate. All right, here's a good one. All of my self-worth is based on male validation. What do I do and how to stop thinking like that? Girl, here's the thing you need to realize. You already have male validation. Like, that's just the baseline. You don't need to go out and prove that to yourself every day or every night or with every interaction. Because if all your relationships are just who was convenient and accessible to stroke your ego or make you feel validated, you're not gonna get very much out of the relationships in your life. Whereas if you realize that every single man on the planet can give you validation, you're gonna start being like, okay, but which man of every man in the world makes me feel alive, intellectually stimulates me, makes me feel loved and wanted deeply? And you're gonna start getting a lot more out of life and a lot more out of the relationships in your life. Next, my boyfriend says I'm not allowed to wear certain tops that show my nipples or look like lingerie. What do we think? It really depends on what you think. So there might be some women that also don't think wearing lingerie out or showing their nipples is something they want to do, and then that's a good match for them. But if you're like me and you like not wearing bras with all your white see-through tops, or you like showing off your entire body, the right boyfriend for you is somebody who has your same mental framework, who looks at life the same way. So instead of putting you in a cage of what you're allowed to do and not allowed to do, they just want to see you flourish and thrive and live your journey and wear what you want to wear and do what you want to do, unlimited and uninhibited, especially by them. So I would say, let's see. You look young. Most likely your boyfriend right now is not the man you're gonna end up with for the rest of your life. Say even that you guys do get married, most marriages end in divorce, so he's probably not the one for you. Go out there and find somebody who looks at life the same way you do, so they never have to put you in a cage and tell you what you're not allowed to do, because they just wanna support you on whatever route you wanna go. How to give good head. The number one thing I always remind myself, take it slow. Taking it slow makes it more intimate and it sensitizes them for the grand finale. When people are nervous, they tend to rush through things blindly, right? Just like go through it really fast, get it over with, and it really lacks intimacy, and that ruins head. So by the time you put your mouth over their head, they're about to explode, right? Like they're like, oh, like they feel it everywhere. Second piece of advice, make intentional and yet sporadic eye contact. Eye contact can be so powerful at the right times and really makes it feel a lot more intimate and special. But a lot of guys will also feel nervous if there's too much eye contact, right? Like for me, even when a guy's going down on me and he's staring at me the whole time, I'm like, look away, please, like I can't focus. And it's the same with guys. Third tip, and one of my biggest, I like to pretend that my hand and my mouth combined are a butthole. And I know that sounds crazy. I'll be in my head literally like, I am a butthole. And it makes you really think about how you imagine it feels being inside your butthole. The tightness, how it loosens and tightens at certain points. And every single time I do that on any man, they nut so fast. So that's a good little psychological tip. Fourth tip, pay attention to how he gets himself off. There's certain general tips I can give you, but every single man has something that he has perfected for himself that makes him finish. For instance, with Drew, I would always watch him right before he would finish. He would jerk like 5 times to the left, this is the left. 5 times to the left, 5 times to the right, back and forth like that, to the side. And so I started doing that with my mouth also. So then it's even hotter, like I'm doing the same motion he likes, but it's a girl doing it with her own hands and also her wet mouth attached. He literally nuts so fast when I do that. All right, that's everything. I didn't even get to like half of your questions. Like, look at this. So I probably need to do a part 2. And then I'm also gonna do advice on girls too. Anyway, thanks for joining me and writing in questions. I hope I gave some advice that helps you. I'll see you next time.